Hello, and welcome to this new lesson on customizing the Service Desk application. In PowerApps, where we will see how to customize the interface, so how to adapt the interface to our language. We therefore log into PowerApps, and once we enter the main screen of PowerApps, we will click on Apps to reach the list of our applications that we have generated in the previous lessons. The steps we will now see on the tablet iPad version and on the customization of the application in Italian will also be valid for the smartphone iPhone version and for the customization of the application in any other language. Before making the changes, we will see what has changed. As a result of customizing the Excel file in Italian, that is, the data source in Italian. So we click on this arrow here to enter the application usage mode. We enter into the details of the first ticket, for which we had also inserted some personalized information. Let's click, and here we can see the status of the ticket. These are data that I inserted before this lesson. They already came with the drop-down menu options customized by us previously. So if we enter here to change the status of the ticket, we see that now we find the list in Italian. The same thing for what concerns the owner of the ticket. So to whom has this ticket been assigned? There are all the names that we have put in Italian. Same for the intervention zone: Rome North, Rome South, Rome East, Rome West. And also for low, medium, high priority, as we had written in the Excel file. So now we come back here for modification. By clicking on this X to customize in Italian, or tomorrow in the language you want, all the fields that are modifiable and that do not affect the programming of the application. We are therefore starting to make the modifications. So let's start with this text. Here, we position ourselves on the corresponding box. We can modify it by double-clicking inside. We can modify it here. We can modify it from here. So here we will write everything here. We will write new. Here we will write a closed course here. And here on hold, we said that this part we will not touch it. Because it has a profound impact on programming. So there would be complex work to do to modify these writings. Obviously, it is something that we can do, but since this is not a course on PowerApps code, but simply on the customization of this application, we leave these writings in English, which are terms we all know anyway. So here, ticket ID, the ticket identifier, we can leave it in English. Here we must go look for the small box. Created by, so we are inside this rectangle. Let's start. It first indicates to us if we go in the priority order. So here we need to go to Advanced and look for where this field can be modified. So this, in quotes, is the text field. So this highlighted in this Bordeaux color. And the text field that does not affect the programming. After this symbol, there's the field related to programming. So where the data will be placed. So here we can write, Here we can change and write priority. Thus, we can do it relative to that. And write creation date, the same thing, relatively. Ticket ID, we said that we do not touch it here. We write created by us. Let's look for other fields again. And here, obviously, there will then be the person to whom the ticket has been assigned. The description is inside here. There will be the ticket description, and here we must not touch anything, just as we must not touch anything here where the object will go of the ticket. There you go. Once these operations are completed, we can also modify the name here, the name that appears here at the top. Change service desk, but we leave it in English, and so we have made the changes to this first screen of the label collection. We will make the other modifications. And to move to other screens of the application, we can hold down the Alt key on the computer keyboard so that we don't always have to use the application in usage mode and then have to close it and return to development mode. By holding down the Alt key on our computer keyboard, we can use the links without performing this operation. So we went to the new ticket creation screen. So we're going to modify here, and we write create a new ticket. And then we will modify these entries as before. Here we write all, here we write new here. In progress, we need to move this to modify that. Close, so we will readjust this as it was before. Close pending. It didn't happen like before. Let's pull it up slightly. Close it, and we will realign it. For the others, we pull it up slightly. They're close. Then we will also modify these entries here. So create by going into the properties, advanced, it's the field from which it pulls the owner. And it's the display name. So this is where we need to intervene. So on the text field, not on the programming created by the same. In this case, so still here in the advanced properties, this is the field from which it draws. And here we will write priority. The ticket area, the restaurant table. Here, you will write whatever you want, the subject of the ticket, and the description. So here we can write create, ticket, and so here we have finished while always holding down the Alt key. We can go back to the other screen to go now always. By holding down the Alt key, click here to go to Modify. This other screen, therefore Idea Ticket, we leave it as created by. Closing date, actually here it is not created by, but it is creation date created by. Let's go back to the advanced properties. We are going to modify the display name of the object. You must always select the entire record, not just the description field. Here we can translate it. We select the tab simply with Notes, Note. This must be modified here, Note. Here, ticket status. We could leave it like this. There's one word in English, one in Latin, so two universally recognized words attributed to. Here you can write zone tab of the restaurant, whatever you want, and then we will modify the record. Priority in replacing what, by default, we find written here by the Office 365 template. Open and close the quotation marks, and we write priority and also this one. We have modified it. We can modify the ticket size title. Here at the bottom, we can write save, and then we will modify the drop-down menus from where we insert certain data as we have seen. So we keep holding down Alt on the computer keyboard. Let's click here, Ticket Status. Let's say that works for us. So still holding down Alt, let's go back. Let's go here to Assign. To change this text assigned to us, we hold. Press Alt, we go back to the previous area, it's fine. Let's change this text with priority. So we can go back, and we can still go back to the main screen, obviously. With the same techniques, it will be possible to customize the iPhone smartphone version of the application. So there's no need for me to make another video to show you how to do it, because the techniques will be exactly the same. We are missing we are missing doing one thing. As you may have seen, I don't know if you noticed it when you came in here, we can modify so much information related to the ticket, but we cannot modify it because these are written automatically, and therefore they are not modifiable. The modification area is this one. We cannot modify created by, and so if tomorrow we wanted to change the name, or even simply if we had made a spelling mistake with this structure of the application, it would not be possible to go and correct the name of the person who created this ticket at the office. And then we would have to add a field. This form is here, so we need to select exactly this form. It is connected. I want to point out to you that if we go to advance a ticket, that is to say to the tickets table in the Excel sheet. So put the data in there. And so these are all the fields related to the different fields of this Excel sheet. By coming back here in Property, it is possible to click here on Edit Fields. And let's see that here. There are all these fields that have been inserted into this screen, which therefore, from here, it is possible to modify. So there's no field created by, which in Excel is called owner, as I know. And so I am presenting it right away. So let's go. Here on Add Fields, these are the fields that we can insert. So let's click on Owner, click on Add, and now PowerUp has added this field for us here at the bottom so that we can modify it. I put it here at the bottom, or maybe we don't like it. Maybe we would like this field to be here at the top, to immediately see who created this ticket. So to be able to modify it, let's come back here by modifying the fields. And let's say that this owner field, we want to move it here to the top. So we hold down the field, we move it here to the top, and there you go. The owner field has come here to the top. At this point, it will also be possible. Modify this field. And so, for example, let's enter the application for a moment in edit mode. And here, if we wanted to write that instead of Stephen Smith, this ticket was created by Roberto Rossi. At this point, it will also be possible. Make this modification to the application, then enter here inside into the details of the ticket, and then also go modify the one who created it. And here what created it? Yes,